Hey, booze, hey, do your blankets feel like super glue in the morning? Well, sis, it's time to shake them off. Welcome to Wake Up Happy Sis, the show that jumpstarts your day with a bang. We're strolling down these self-care streets as we navigate the maze of wellness and healing. We're helping you live happy, healed, and whole. And we do it all with a hearty dose of belly laughs for good measure. Stay tuned and get ready to wake up happy, sis. Hey, everybody. I'm running a little late, running behind. Got to get my little ticky-tacky, online because it don't stream nicely, don't play well with friends like everybody else. That's okay. That's okay. So, welcome everybody. Welcome back to the Wake Up Happy Sis show. We are in season what? 10. Season 10. And look, if you didn't know, if you're new here, the Wake Up Happy Sis show is all about empowering you to live your best life unapologetically. I am your Chief Self-Love Officer, Leanne Dulce, with my fabulous co-host, Sharon DeSeely. We are broadcasting live as well on KCCR Cityscape Radio, where we're changing the narrative for our people because we're what? Always telling our story, our way, and we're unapologetic about it. So today we're talking about something that is so real and so raw. As we wrap up October was financial planning month. So we're going to talk about making money moves that are going to transform not just your life, but the lives of of generations to come. And if y'all didn't know, Sharonda's a money lady. Okay. She help you get your books in alignment. Okay. Have her son having children having good credit, like all these things. Okay. Me, I grew up a little poor girl, didn't know about money. So my money habits have not always been the best. But there is never a time when you can't change, you can't learn, and you can grow. And that's what we're here to help you with today. Okay. So if you've been waiting for a sign to level up your financial game, today might be the day for you. Okay. It's all about setting your foundation, growing your wealth, and creating a legacy, leaving something for your children and their children, setting them up for success. Okay. Because what we're going to stop doing is somebody in our family passed away unexpectedly, and we have to go to the internet to help bury that person because there wasn't a plan in place. Legacy was not built. Right? We don't want to continue to do that. So we're going to give you some tips. Okay. It might be about budgeting like a boss. It might be mastering the art of investing or getting your will set up. Right? We're here to help you kind of build a blueprint to your financial freedom. So that's what we do. So grab your mug of whatever it is, your favorite mug of something, and get ready because we're talking about securing the bag today. All right. So how was your day yesterday? How was your yesterday? How's your week been coming?
It's coming on along, ma'am. You guys, we talked about this episode 1 of season 10 about my fabulous VIP experience at the Wake Up Happy Sis Soul Renewal Restoration.
Soul renewal experience. We don't.
Yeah,
It was a restoration.
It was. And I played it this morning because my thinking was trying to. I like, yo, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. So my practice is to give over the things that stress me. It's a daily opportunity to give it to God, because you know how you be trying to stick your hands on that altar, trying to take it back after you gave it to him. So it's a practice now for me to, because my mind just goes and it goes. So I just turn on your voice and I'm back at that restoration ceremony
Yes. So
to
what we
start my
did,
day off the right way.
yeah. So one of the things we did during the retreat was release ceremony. And what it's designed to do is designed to help you release things, right? Release the negative things, the things that are holding you back, the things that are weighing you down, the things that are hurting you. Releasing the guilt, releasing the pain, releasing the trauma. We have so many of these things that build up, build up, build up, build up, and we keep it right here, so close to our chest. I call them little lock boxes on our soul where we tuck away the bad things. But if you keep putting air into a balloon, what's it going to do? At
Hmm.
some point, you're full and you need to release these things in a healthy way so that you can start replacing them with positive things. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Our favorite is DJ in the land. So we're talking about money moves today, Tony.
Okay.
As we're talking about. We're talking about how can we, no matter what age we are, start building that foundation, start about how can we, so that we
No
have
matter what
something
age we
for,
are.
you got to turn your thing off, Tony. There you go. So that we can have something for our children, for our grandchildren, right? So we can also
Mm-hmm.
plan for our financial freedom. This isn't just about setting them up, it's about setting us up too. Because God can tell you definitively, I was not meant to live a life of mediocrity.
Mm.
I was meant to live a soft
Say
life.
that part again.
Okay. I was meant to live a soft life. I was not put here to live a life of mediocrity and hand to mouth living. I was meant to thrive. I am meant to be rich, richer than Oprah. Okay. I'm meant to have my own damn orchard, or avocado orchard. Oprah got one, while Leanne can't have one.
Hmm.
And I know sometimes we think, oh, it's too late. I'm too old. Can't teach an old dog new tricks. Yes, you can. You always can. You have to want to learn. You have to want to change. And you have to be willing and ready to sacrifice for that change.
Mm-hmm. Because your 50-year-old self will thank you.
Mm-hmm. My 50-year-old self is already thanking me for some of the things. Oh, look what happens when you clean your glasses. Look all clear and beautiful. Baby, the world's looking bright and beautiful right now.
Yeah.
And that's what we want for you guys. That's what we want for you guys. Okay? It's like cleaning your glasses. We don't want to see through the dirt and the muck and the mire anymore. That's the same with our mindset. Sometimes we got to clear our mindset. I was listening to, and I'm going a little bit off script, but I was listening to Lisa Nichols.
Uh-huh. I like her.
I love me some look. Better nobody never talk bad about Lisa Nichols.
Right.
But she was talking about revealing the lies. And what she was saying, you write down on paper, and each line, after you write each lie, you leave like a couple of lines of space, but around different areas in your life. And she said, you start with financial. What are the lies that you've told yourself about finances, about financial freedom, about wealth, about how you manage money? Oh, I'm not good with money. I'm not good with budgeting. I'll never be rich, right? She said, if you think it, write it, because it's a lie,
Hmm.
right? All these things that we tell ourselves or that people have told us, and we started to believe it.
Hmm.
You know, right? You write them down and then you read them over, but there's around different areas in your life, right? That around finances, around relationships, blah, blah, blah. Then you're going to read it over, and then you write underneath each one, you write the truth. She said, even if you don't believe it, write the truth.
Mm-hmm.
As a, and as a positive statement, not like if you say, if your lie is that you've told yourself, I'm stupid. I'm not smart. I can't learn. Right? If you say I'm stupid, the truth would not be I'm not stupid. The truth should be I am smart. I am intelligent. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that. So as we release, and this is the same as like a release ceremony, as we release our negative thoughts about our finances and stuff, you have to replace with something positive. And that's what we're giving you today. We're going to help you release and help you replace. So when we start, I think you have to start with building a solid financial foundation. And Sharonda and Tony, you guys just jump in if you want to, whenever, right? Because I think establishing your core money habits is what's going to give you financial security, right? That's going to help you on your road to financial security. You have to have good money habits. You got to have a good mindset around your relationship with money. That's why it starts up here. All change starts up here because you have to see it in your mind's eye before you can see it in reality.
True.
See it before you see it, or you'll never see it. Right? So we're going to start with setting clear financial goals. Right? That's going to be a crucial first step. It means knowing exactly what you're working towards. Is your goal to buy your first house? Is your goal to build up your 6-month savings cushion? Is your goal to create a retirement plan? Right? Is your goal to retire by the age of 52, 47, 35? I don't know. Right? Studies show that people who set specific financial goals are 30% more likely to reach them because having a well-defined target turns your vague aspirations into actionable plans. Right? So you have to start with setting those clear financial goals. Right? And you have to define what wealth means to you when you're setting those goals. What does wealth really mean to you? Because goal setting isn't just about the dollars and cents. It's about visualizing what a stable and successful future looks like to you so that you can be driven, you can be focused, you can be intentional in your actions to get there. So when you set those goals, you're actually starting to form your plan for success.
Yep.
But
when you put your mind in a place to achieve higher and better, magic happens where opportunities happen, where things start to fall into place. But it begins in your mind, like Leanne said. If you don't change your mind, which is free, then how is it that you're going to make moves to move forward?
There we go. I don't know how it switched up on me. I agree. We can't make money moves. We don't even know where the hell we're going. That's like me saying, you know what? I'm going to get in a car and I'm going to drive to Florida, but I don't really, not even I'm going to drive to Florida. I'm going to just drive south because I don't really need to have a plan or a place, or I don't know where I'm going. I don't know even where my destination is. I'm going to just go left, go right. Sounds kind of crazy, right? I'm going to just get in my car and I'm going to drive left. Wherever left takes me.
You might get there, but without a plan, it's a whole lot harder than it needs to be.
A lot harder because you're just taking a chance on life. We don't want to just take a chance. It's great to be spontaneous in some areas. Spontaneity is great. We are not saying don't be spontaneous. We're saying pick where your spontaneity is and pick where your planning is. Your finances, something to be planned.
Let me tell these government workers out here, look on your leaving and earning statement, and that box where it says your contribution, and it says matching 3%. In the beginning, you think that's all good, that's good. But then when you look at it again, the amount that you contributing or that's being contributed to your retirement is not growing like it's supposed to, because the real girl, Tony, this is my own life I'm talking about. I'm like,
yeah, I know. Come on.
So let me tell you what we did, because I'm married to a finance man and stuff. So we got on the phone with finance, and we're or HR or whatever, and we were talking about increasing our contribution, our thrift savings plan or 401k or whatever.
Right.
And this lady, Tony, she argued with us and said, you cannot do the 26K, which was the maximum that you can contribute annually. She said, you cannot do that, because this is in 2020. I'm turning 50 in 21. In December of 20. She said, no, you have to wait until you turn 50. Bitch, I turned 50 in December. So you gotta waste a whole damn year? A whole year. She said, yeah, because if you overpay, then they'll just give you a check at the end of the year. I'm like, you in a position to influence people and to help them, and you putting out bullshit?
That's how they say they corporate greed. That you know what I'm saying?
But it's our money that we're contributing.
And that's the lick.
That match. So at the end of the year, depending on how the company does it, do they do the match at the end of the year, or do they match monthly?
But it's only 3%. That is bullshit.
But that's better than nothing. Some places ain't even doing a match. But don't tell me. Yeah, but don't tell me I have to wait. Now, was the reality that you had to be 50, or it just had to be your 50th year?
My 50th year is the rule, and she clearly didn't understand.
Right. So you could have done, and this is the thing. That's why it's so important for us to do our own research.
Absolutely.
People may not
get my hands on people that are in that system. Listen to me when I tell you my younger self made provisions to max out my contribution, so that money was able to purchase our lot in Mexico. And it was a nice sum, and the growth does not take place on a minuscule little piece of your damn base pay. The contribution that's maxed out is where the exponential growth takes place, and you see that number change on your LES. You know what I'm talking about, Tony? So that's my public service announcement to max out your contribution, because your older self will thank you. It's gonna hurt in the beginning, but you're gonna thank yourself on the back end.
Right, but you're gonna, but I say the goal is to, when you're young, right? And
good morning, boss lady.
Live with less, right? When you're young, you can live with less. You don't have the kids, you don't have all these other things that are stopping you. Work harder now. So you're putting yourself in a position. I wish someone had told me this when I was younger, right? I wish that somebody had told me this when I was younger, for me to work harder, invest more, and sacrifice more on the front end now, so that in your later years, you are able to live the life that you want, because you've been set up properly financially. Nobody told me that. My family didn't know about money. We didn't know anything about money. I didn't have anybody to talk to. You guys have Sharonda.
If you listen and execute, I can't even give people that are attached to me, my kiddos, they're not listening.
Well, they're gonna listen when it hit them, you know, or the internet. We didn't have Google. Okay, we older than Google. Okay, we didn't have Google.
Yeah, we didn't have Google
to be able to look up and get all these strategies and find out things.
Yeah, well, you had to use the
libraries and the Encyclopedia Britannica.
Right. And
every Black family had the full set of Encyclopedia Britannica, because
we still got them
to your house.
Oh my God.
And
The
every
Dewey
couple of years,
Decimal
you have
System.
to get the updated extender, the versions where they made updates.
Right.
So we didn't have the breadth of knowledge and wealth at our fingertips like you guys do.
Oh, got it.
That part.
So it's up to us to research on our own, to learn. You don't have to be a master at it, but understand what somebody is telling you when they say it. So like Sharonda and Arif, you know when somebody doesn't know what they're talking about and they're giving bad information.
And my question is this.
Everything. You
But
can't
then again, it could have been deliberate, like Tony is about to allude to.
Mm-hmm.
Right. My question is this. Why is it so easy for most of us people of color to believe somebody who don't know Jack rather than to go and rather than to go?
Shut up, Tony.
When they're in a position of power, right? This is the person who is supposed to know. I'm
Right.
you, and you're supposed to know, right? So, like with us, I at some of my client sites, I run HR. I do not know Vestwell, not Vestwell, but your 401k.
Mm-hmm.
You know where I send them?
Mm.
I send them right on over to the specialist.
There you go.
Who does that? I'm not going to try and tell you something that I don't know and just make up some stuff that sounds good. I'm going to send you to a specialist who can help you make the proper decisions for you and your family.
But when that specialist is kicking out some bullshit,
you have to know.
And
you
it's contradictory to what you know.
Right. See, that's why I say, be open-minded to listen. But if it don't sound right to you, then go research. Don't buy into the lie.
It's only gonna hurt you.
Right, but you gonna hurt you in the long run. In the end, you gonna hurt the worst out of that. So do your due diligence. Quit being lazy, especially when it comes to your finances. Do you know how hard you work for your money? To allow somebody else to dictate how you lose it?
Let me tell you something. A dollar bill is the greatest employee that ever was.
Thank you.
Dollar does not need maternity leave. It does not need to go to the hospital. It does not get sick. It just works and churns and churns and churns. But you gotta put it in the right vehicle in order to see the gains.
Like Buckwheat State, I got $1. Hey.
I got $1. I got $1.
Y'all really dating yourself. I love it. Really dating yourselves right now.
Hey, oldest goal, ma'am.
Hey, I'm finna be 60.
I told you we're not old. I'm vintage.
Did you hear me?
What'd you say?
November 9th, I will be 66. So vintage is wonderful with me.
Yeah,
thank you.
Vintage. I'm not old. I'm vintage.
That's what I said.
So now that we've got our goals, we got to get back on track because we get to talking and get all off. But it's always good and relevant to the discussion. Yes. Now we've got our goals. We've written them down. We know our goals, so we have the makings of our plan.
Oh, Leanne, how about this? Every raise and every promotion needs to go towards your TSP because you're used to not having that money, but you just got booked up. So keep acting like you're not used to having that money.
Sharonda?
Huh?
What's TSP?
TSP is your thrift savings plan for the government workers. When you get your raises at the beginning of the year, when you get your promotions, you didn't have that money before. Put it towards your TSP.
Now, I would agree with that. You can you can take a little bit of that and be like, okay, I'm going to put a little bit more into my normal budget. But the bulk of that, like I'm saying, like 90-10, 80-20. So let's say you want to put 20% to you because you still want to be able to enjoy life as well. So let's say you want to put 20% to you because your self-care is part of your wealth. Your health is your wealth.
It's important.
But that other 80%, put it in there.
because you're not taking money out of your house. You've already been living at that pay rate for a while now. Now that you're promoted, stick the majority of it into your investment plan.
Because your rent's going to go up. Your rent's going to go up if you don't have a mortgage, right? Yep. Your rent is going to go up. Prices go up. So you realize you have to adjust your amounts for what do you call that? Inflation. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Hell, gas is expensive. Depending on where you live. Right? So we have to do that. Put a little bit more, put that 20% to account for inflation and the increasing prices, because you can live with that. You've been living off it. And stick to your budget. That segues right into our next point. You need to create and stick to a budget.
Stick to that budget.
Because budgeting is one of your most empowering financial practices that you can adopt. Now, just like Sharonda said, that budget is like telling every dollar where to go.
Yep.
Giving it an assignment, giving it a job, a task, a duty, instead of just wondering where the hell it all went.
Well, you can look in the closet and see where it went. And these undue clothing and shoes and stuff that I
garage.
Yeah, or your garage on them things that you don't need. You just want them. Yeah. But see, that's another thing too. We got to learn how to distinguish our wants and our needs. What's more important to you? You know what I'm saying,
Tony? Some people are so right now gratified minded. And delayed gratification is a foreign concept to them. But if you can show them with a promotion coming up or a raise or whatever, create the number for them so they can see, because sometimes people are visual learners and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So if you can take what they're about to get in their next raise or promotion or whatever it is, that amount of money over time, see what it would turn into if you invest it, or put it so it can be invested, so it can grow. Because people that are still working in the government, it's simple. It's a really great tool for you to see how your money is doing, your financial wellness and stuff. So you talk to or go on the site. I think it was, what was it called? Thrift Savings Plan was the name of the site, and you can see how your money was growing. Because remember, I wasn't used to having that money. So when I got my GS-12 in like the 2.5 years before I retired, all of that promotion money went towards the TSP plan and stuff, because I'm still living on a GS-11 pay, but I'm getting GS-12 pay. So that hike, that delta, goes to TSP because it's not coming out of my pocket. I'm not taking money away from my family. I got promoted. So that extra money is what's grew my TSP exponentially to 6 figures in a very short amount of time.
Yeah, that way you're spending money that you don't have, that you do have.
To grow it and multiply it.
To grow it.
I'm telling you, it's that damn simple. I'm not telling you to take money off your table and from your family. You got a promotion coming up. Plan to put that delta, that the difference between what you're getting currently and what you're expecting, put that delta away in a vehicle that will exponentially grow itself.
But we're not talking about that right now. Y'all keep getting off topic.
Oh, okay. Well, it's up to you. You the host. You supposed to pull us back.
That's what, and that's what I do.
Okay. Well, that's why we learn. That's why we learn
budgeting right now, right? Because a lot of people they can't get to that part if they don't even have the basics down, right?
What makes a good budget for those that never did? How does one who never had a budget go about creating one?
Well, I'm so glad you asked.
Yeah.
So I took one of my soldiers when I was in Korea. My baby was 8 months old and with his dad here in the States, and I'm in Korea, and I'm trying to fill my time before sorrow comes and gets me and stuff. So I just started to help my soldiers out. So I got it one sheet of piece of paper with nothing on the back and a pencil. I folded it in half. I put the 1st and the 15th because those were 2 pay periods in the Army. And so I had him tell me what his bills were and when they were due. So trying to explain the concept that if you're at the beginning of the month and your bill is due on the 15th, you don't pay it on the 15th. You pay it on the 1st, because if you wait to the 15th, then chances are you might have some fees to pay because of the latency. So I would much rather teach them to pay it earlier. And that's how you set your bills up around your pay periods, and you pay them before they're due so you don't have to deal with any of the fees and stuff. And it was a simple thing. This soldier, at the end of a year, he ran, Captain Seeley. I'm like, what's going on? He said, you know that piece of paper you showed me how to keep my bills and my budget together and stuff, and keep me from going shopping and buying the same damn thing 3 times or 2 or whatever, and just keep your money too. You don't have to let it burn a hole in your pocket. This boy was able to save $3,500 that year that we were in Korea, and was able to. It's that simple. It's that simple.
Wow.
No smoke and mirrors, no nothing. Anybody can do this.
And you can, and if you're looking at, I'm just starting out, I don't really know, right? Mm-hmm. They have something that's called the 50-30-20 rule. Okay. And that's where you're saying, okay, breaking down where our money's going. 50% going towards things like your rent, your bills. Because ideally, you don't want your bills hopefully are not more than 50% of your pay. If they are, you may need to look at adjusting and downscaling to make sure that you have money. Because if you don't, then you're always living hand to mouth. You're always trying to rob Peter to pay Paul. And it's not that the money's burned a hole in your pocket. It's spent before you got it because you have so many bills, right? So 50%. And this is just a simple, quick 50% to your needs, rent, food, whatever.
All that necessities, all that first.
Yeah. 30% to your wants, because we still want to have fun. And then you can have 20% for savings, or you can flip those.
There you go.
20% for your wants, 30% for your savings, because your 50% covers all your bills and all your needs, right? And then, like Sharonda said, write out exactly where your money is going. Write it out so that you can get ahead of the bills. Yes. If you know what your credit cards, knowing the difference between the due date, the bill start date, when they start assessing interest, and paying. What I had started doing was I would, first of all, I started paying all my bills off of the card that gave me the most return. Points, whether you do whatever, right? But then you start paying your bills like, oh, if I use this card and I know it's due on XYZ date, but I know let's say it's due on the 30th, but I know on the 15th is when they start assessing, let's say, interest, because that's between the bill period, whatever. Right. I'm paying it on the 14th.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that you're going to get the benefit of your credit being utilized. Because if you don't use it, I've seen them where they will lower your credit limit if you ain't using it. Right? You're still using your credit, but you're not giving them the time to assess all those penalties and interest on top of that. Right? So you can be strategic when you're doing your budgeting. Right? And that also allows you to start saving for a rainy day, so that if something happens, your car breaks down, like Sharonda said, that soldier was able to save $3,500. So with the GI funds and stuff, that might have been enough to get him a down payment on a house, right? So we have to start looking at our budgets. And if you want a tight budget, start small.
Yeah.
You may not be able to save 20%. You might only be able to save $10, $15.
Yeah.
But it's something you put it away until you can do better. And like Sharonda said, when the money starts to come in better, you put away what you need. Remember that 50, 30, 20.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to go hard, it might be 70, 30, 70, 20, 10, and 10 is your need, your wants, right? So you have ways that you can play with that so that you're not living hand to mouth all the time, right? And then after our budget, we've already started talking about that emergency fund, right? Your thrift savings plan, your 401k plan, your emergency fund, things that you can pour into so that when something happens, you've got it there. That you can, hey, borrow against your 401k because you want to buy a house. You've got a savings fund, so you lost your job, but you're not stressed about it because you've got 6 months of your bills, not just your rent, your bills.
Right.
There. So you don't have to be so stressed about being in transition. Right? That's what, when you get the unpredictableness that life will throw at you.
And it is.
Right? That emergency fund can be the difference between you being able to stay in your house or you and your family being out on the street. Right? Because you might want to just start with $1,000 buffer. Can you save $1,000? That's enough if your car break down, hopefully. Little things pop up. Especially if you got kids. Let's say you got kids. You know, once they start going to school and getting into activities, that stuff is expensive.
Yes, sir.
So if we can start building our emergency funds up, building up to 3 to 6 months worth of expenses, so when something happens, you're not scrambling to try and figure out how you're going to make do. Right? It's just meant so that you have a safety net, giving you peace of mind when unexpected events happen. Medical emergencies, like you said, job transitions, major car repairs, issues with your kids or with other family members. Oh my God, I have to start taking care of my parent or a sibling or somebody, let's say, that has to come and live with you. You got to take in your sister's kids because something happened. Those are additional hits on your household you didn't expect.
That's right. That's that Murphy's Law.
Unpredictability.
And having that safety net, baby, that's going to keep you sane, keep your household moving, and not make there have to be a major dip in the lifestyle that you are leading and the plans that you have for your future. Because one medical emergency can wipe most people out. Will wipe most people out. If you haven't planned for it and you don't have things in place to help with that. So build that emergency fund, right? Automate. You can have direct deposit, shuffle where your money is going. Okay, I want most of my money here. That's where the bills come from. And then can you put some more into this fund over here? And that's your saving fund. When you're younger, you can afford, if you're investing, you can afford to be a little more risky in your investments because your money can ride that wave. When we're older and we're investing late, we're probably going to choose things that are going to be a lot less risky, more stable, more stability. Right?
Right.
But automate where your money is going. Again, we're trying to make our money work for us, not us work for it. Okay. And then managing your debt.
Ooh, say that again, because a lot of black folks don't seem to comprehend that.
Yeah.
Manage
We
your
have
debt.
to learn how to manage our debt wisely. Right?
Mm.
Debt doesn't have to hold you back.
Nope.
There's nothing wrong with having debt. Right?
Right.
You just have to manage it well, because it can be a tool on your path to wealth. You can't get credit if you don't have any debt, any history of anything. Oh, that's great. I paid for everything cash.
No credit is bad.
Yeah. When you go to get a loan, they're going to be like, well, you don't even have a history of any credit.
Yeah, no credit is bad credit. So all them people who are here say, well, I ain't never got no. Well, okay, well, that's why you still stuck.
Yeah. So we just have to look at our debt. And it doesn't matter where you are in your debt journey. If you feel like you're in under the mountain of debt, you can still work on it. They have different techniques. The snowball method, paying off your smallest debts first.
Yeah.
You might have the avalanche method, focusing on your highest interest debt and chipping away at that.
Yeah.
Right. And I think a lot of times people go with the snowball effect, probably. Let me pay off these little things, get them out of the way. Right? You can definitely do that. But you can also look at, and you tell me if this is right, Sharonda.
Mm-hmm.
If I have, let's say, $5,000 in debt, would you, let's say you got a raise for $5,000. Okay, you got $5,000 bonus. Do you take the full $5,000 and pay the debt off, or do you put some on the debt and then you put into your savings?
I don't think the savings is the right vehicle, because if you look at your savings, the rate of growth is,
well, I mean, wherever you're putting it,
okay.
It could be your like you said, your TSP. It could be into your investment, wherever you're putting your money away. Let's put it that way, not just like a savings account, but wherever you're putting money away. Would you recommend that people say, okay, I got this $5,000, I'm going to pay this debt off? Or do I split, pay some on the debt, put some into whatever this savings is? Remember, we're trying to max out our.
But you got to remember that if you put it all on the debt, if you put it all on the debt, then you miss the opportunity for future growth with it. So there's some people subscribe to the first thought. They might wash the debt out and put the bonus on top of the debt, and you now have zero. But you also have zero opportunities to flip that, any part of that 5,000 though.
Yeah. And the debt's already there.
Okay, so
you know what I mean? So I agree with you. I'm 100% in agreement with you, because the debt is already there. I think you have to strike a balance. I would never say go whatever, and people are going to make their own decision. Do your own research, but I think if you strike a balance between your debt repayment and savings, wherever that savings is really essential, right?
Yeah.
Because you might say 70-30. Okay. Now maybe, right? Because I want to pay a lot of this debt down, but I'm not going to put 100%. You might say 70%. I'm going to take 70% of this 5,000 and I'm going to put it on that debt.
Yeah. So that's what I was going to say. Yeah. Some people would much rather just wipe out the debt altogether and then, go on about their life. But in order for you to be, to get something out of that bonus or whatever that $5,000 influx that you just got, in order for you to retain some of it needs to go into a vehicle that has exponential growth. So like you just said, on the second scenario, I would put most of it, maybe a portion of it, like put a chunk. Let's say let's cut it in half. Let's put $2,500 down on the debt, and then take the other $2,500 and invest it in the market. And you could get that $5,000, depending on what your investment options are. You can make that plus. And then you're also gonna cut your debt in half immediately, because you're gonna take half of that $5,000, and then make yourself a doggone payment plan to pay the rest of that off.
Right.
There you go.
And then your mind shrinks the debt, because you have a vehicle to get out of it, but you also got to, put the brakes on yourself and put restraint on yourself with that debt too, because it's kind of hard for you to think about digging yourself in a hole or out of a hole. How can you get out of the hole when you keep going deeper in debt?
Yeah. So
if you put like lock that doggone credit card up. I'm only speaking from experience, because I too, being a money woman, can also get a little bit loose with your doggone credit card and stuff.
A little bit loose.
But other times there's no middle ground with me. I'm either, working hard to pay it off, but then my younger self, I would literally drop my credit card payment in the mail and go to the fucking mall before I got back to my damn room, before I realized, like, hey, wait a minute, this don't make no damn sense. This don't make no sense. So I have got to put the brakes on the spending in order for you to not see so much debt, because all this stuff is self-inflicted. Because if you have that doggone fetish where you just gotta have the newest, latest, and greatest, and money seems to burn a hole in your damn pocket, meaning it's already spent before you get it, then that's again the mindset shift. When at the beginning of the show we started talking about, you've got to change your mind. It's not forever, it's just a shift, just so you can see. And also another thing, say like you give yourself $500 a month, that's your play money. That $500, take receipt whenever you pay for something, take receipts, so you can see where that $500 went.
Yep.
Because again, sometimes you're visual learners and stuff. So if you can see how your $500 was spent, then hopefully it'll prevent you from getting further into that doggone hole you're trying to dig yourself out of.
Yeah. And I think having that split of what you're going to do with this stockpile of money that you came into, however you came into it, right? You want to, I look at it from the perspective of, let's make forward progress on both fronts. Debt repayment and saving for the future.
Now, like what you said,
we want our money to work for us.
That's the whole premise of this show. The dollar is your best employee of the world.
Don't take no vacation. Don't take no sick leave. It does what you
don't talk back.
It do what you tell it to do. No attitude, nothing.
So while you're sleeping, they're still working. You just got to put it in the right vehicle.
That's it.
It's that simple, y'all. It is that simple. And then with your debt, we went back in the day, in our early days, we had like maybe $10,500 in debt between the two of us. And we did a consolidation loan, and we put all of the debt in there, and then we put ourselves on an allowance, and was able. So I said DINK earlier in the show. DINK means dual income, no kids.
Right.
So we had two full-time workers, meaning Arif and I, and so we were living off of one check, and then we were investing the second check. That's how we were able to buy up the real estate had 31 doors at our height when we got out of the Army and stuff. And that's how we were able to live in Panama, by living off of our rents, because our VA was not started up and we did not retire. But we sure enough kicked the fuck up with our heels in Panama and saved so much fucking money. Y'all.
That's it.
Y'all need to doggone explore living abroad, because the cost of living is a fraction of what it is.
Yeah.
I'm definitely.
And your quality of life is way better over there. Ask me how I know. I'm begging you to ask me how I know.
How you know?
I've done it.
I know.
Now, before we end, because we only have about 9 minutes left, I want to talk about legacy planning. Sharonda's already hit on it a little bit, right? But we've talked through now we got our goals. We know where we're going. We know how we want to get there. We're managing our money. We're sticking to our budget. We're starting to build up our emergency fund, right? The emergency fund is for your immediate things. It's not for your long term. Your emergency fund is the immediate things that happen in life, so you don't have to pull from your long term investments to do the things that you need to do and manage the emergencies that happen in life. But when we're building legacy and we're planning for our legacy, that is long term. That's where your wills are going to come into place. That's where trusts are going to come into place. But that's also where your investments come into place as well, right? Because we're trying to grow our money, make our money work for us. But also we're trying to make sure that when we leave, I don't need a GoFund. My family doesn't need a GoFundMe to bury me or to respect my last wishes, because I don't want to be buried, right? But any money that we have, we know how it's going to be delivered to them, and we're setting them up for success, right? So whether you're going to have a will, you have a will, and then your money is in a trust. Your money is in these insurance things. I don't know about those, right? But having that knowledge, or somebody who is knowledgeable that you can trust in that area, is really going to be critical. So you need to get somebody that can help you with legacy planning, that can help you with those, IULs, the different types of UIL, universal index life insurance, right? And looking at how rich people put away their money. Most of them, their houses and all these things are under trusts.
Yep.
Nothing is in their name. Who was it that said, there was a celebrity that said, I am not rich. And then she was like, my trust, I don't own anything.
It's all in the trust.
It's all in the trust. So you have to find a person who is knowledgeable about these things. Hey, DJ Smoking Lou.
That's my boy, DJ Smoking Lou. Detroit in the building.
Hey, Detroit, what up, though?
What up? Oh, okay. So we don't want to talk about wills because we think it's morbid. It's whatever. We got to get over it, because legacy isn't just about money, right? It's about securing the future for generations and creating opportunities that a lot of us don't have.
Excuse me, ma'am. I'm trying really hard to keep my psyche in control, because
let it out.
My kiddo is not wanting of the legacy and the things that we have provided for him, and I am feeling some kind of way that I'm about it. Yeah, I do, because some people, they don't want what their parents have set up for them, or work their fucking lives to set up something that they never had. And it's like a thumb in the nose, like,
Yeah, so it's like a
Yeah,
slap in the
I'm just
face.
gonna choose to struggle and be mediocre. Have you met me? You're not gonna be able to do that over here. And I just and you can do all of the right things and stuff, and they still just
Yeah. But
So
but the difference is this is where how I see it. We can only do so much for our children, right? What they say, you can lead a horse to water, you can't make it drink, right? So you can still set up the provisions so that when you're gone, things can happen and he can be whatever. But what people don't know a lot of times is that you can also control how they get the money,
Mm-hmm.
right?
with a whole lot of strings and hoops to jump through.
That's it. You have people that be like, okay, to get this money, you have to go to college and get a college degree. You're
Yeah.
not going to get this amount of money until you're such and such. The rest of your money the money has been put in a trust fund, and you get this, and you can put them on an allowance with this money so that the money continues to work for them, but they also are getting some kind of allowance so they can live, right? Because if they don't want the legacy that you're building for them, you can't force them to take it.
That's okay. We'll just spend it in our lifetime and then they won't get shit because we've given them something more valuable than money, and
You've
that's
given them knowledge.
information
Yes.
and knowledge. And you can replicate this thing, but
Yeah.
no.
You can say, look, I want my kids and my kids. You can put all that money in and pass. Maybe you're passing down property, right? You're passing down property to them. May not always be money, right? I'm passing down wealth, not riches. There's a
Big
difference.
difference. Big
There's
difference.
a difference in being rich and being wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking wealthy every time. But there's not much you can do if he don't want it and he's not doing the things that's necessary. Because I'm gonna live a good life. If you want to struggle over there, you can go ahead and struggle. But you can't keep running back to mom and daddy when I've given you the tools
Right.
and you're not doing what I know you know how to do. That's the difference, right? Set your children up with the knowledge so they can grow it their own money however they want, right? You can also create a family legacy plan. You ever heard of that, Sharonda?
Yeah, I heard of that.
Do tell, Lynn.
Let me tell you. It outlines how your assets, your property, your wealth, all of these things are going to be managed and divided across the generations. So Sharonda and Arif are rich. They now have said, okay, we've got a family legacy plan. The houses and all the property live under this trust or whatever. This generation, you get this much. Your children get this much. Their children get this much. So that when the money goes out, if they forget the lessons that you taught them on good financial planning and money management and having a good relationship with money, they don't squander everything that you worked hard for. Because you're still living your good life off of your money, but you've made sound investments so that you've set them up. Because it's not about, oh, let me not live a good life so I can play. No, fuck them kids.
I'm sorry. Can you say that in my good ear? Can you please say that in my good ear?
Fuck them kids.
Say it with your chest, though.
Fuck them kids. I'm going to set up that you're not just going to
look. Them damn kids.
Me and my daughter, me and my family, we play this game. If you had $20 million, you won the lotto, and your payout was $20 million. What would you do with that money? Right. And so I looked at, okay, I've got this many cousins that I really fuck with, and they've got kids. This is how much I would give each of them This is how much I would put away for my daughter and my grandson. This is how much I would give to my aunt and uncle that are like the most important ones in my life. Blah blah blah. And then this is how much everybody else gets. And that's still of the 20 million. That's like this. That's like this much. Okay, that's what people don't get. That's like this much. Then I'm gonna have this much of play money, and the rest of this, you can put that money into certain investments, and you can literally live real well just off the interest.
Thank you very much. So that way you keep your principal intact.
So I did good.
Do not. That's baseline right there.
So I did good. So I did good.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Because remember, from my example in the beginning, the real change happens when you invest big, so it can snowball on itself.
Yeah.
And you can watch it grow and stuff.
And
so
you can diversify your investments, right?
You can live, that $20 billion can be amazing into perpetuity, just living off of the interest alone, a fraction of the interest alone. You can, that nest egg can have nest eggs if you do it right.
Think about it. And that's why it's so important that we, one, build our own knowledge, that we start teaching this to our children early, because I didn't know any of this. I didn't know any. I didn't grow up with this.
I didn't either. They were trying to beat it in my head when I first got in the Army at 18, but it wasn't until I met a reef that knew things about finances that shaped and guided our family into how we, like I said, we lived off of the smallest check and we invested the other to buy the large assets and stuff. And it's always going to be about assets and access. Yes. Get into it, people. Yes. Get into it.
And find somebody like I said, we didn't grow up with that. Arif must have had something in his life where he was taught that, right? So that's a wonderful thing.
He has an affinity for it.
So that's just his. See, I love.
That's his whole normal makeup.
That's his happy place.
Yes, it is. It is.
See,
seriously, I thought I was, but our finances is his happy place.
You're the total. I feel like we are the sum total of the people we spend the most time with. So if you're spending the most time with people who do not have a wealth building mindset, who do not have a growth mindset, you're not going to have a growth mindset, because you're going to be too busy dumbing yourself down to their level.
If you the smartest person among your friends, you need some new friends.
Yeah. And you can, and I'm not saying, because I have multiple circles of friends. And I might be the smartest one here because it's my job to pour into them. But I'm going over here and I definitely am in the middle. And over here, I might be the low man on the totem pole. Right? That to me is ideally how I want to live my life. I want to have somewhere I can pour into people and share what I know and help them. But I also want to be poured into, because I don't want to be the smartest one in every room. That is when you're living in your ego, not living in reality. And I choose to live in reality. I want to learn. I want to grow. I want to continue to be the best version of myself, which means I have to continue learning. Finances is one of the things. And as we're changing our mindset, get yourself some affirmations. People think they're just fun little words. No, affirmations are powerful tools to help shift your mindset towards an abundance mindset. Right? You might say, I am worthy of financial success. I never put anything as if it's future stating. I'm worthy, right? I attract opportunities for wealth. Not I will have money. It's no. I like to frame it as if it is now, right? Because these affirmations are changing your mindset You wake up every day, you write them, say them, whatever, meditate on them, journal about them. The goal is to change your mind, change your heart, how you see money. What is your relationship to money? Remember about writing those lies down? You might have a couple of pages of lies that you tell yourself or you've been told. So now you believe about money and about yourself. But they're lies, right? I don't know what Smoking Lou's talking about. I live in this world and it's made me lose my mind just saying with the crazies out here. He on a different level today. We're going to let him stay over there today. I get it, what you're saying though, Lou. Right? You need to get you some affirmations. We don't want you losing your mind. Don't let the crazies overcome you. Right? And surround yourself with people. So you got your affirmations. We got our plan. We know about savings. Surround yourself with people who are on the same track as you, so that you guys can go on your savings and your wealth journey together, right? But find people who are serious. They're invested and they're committed. You can do an investment club where you guys are learning how to invest together. You guys can go in and buy property together once you guys have started saving, and buy a compound. That's what I really want. I want a compound where me and my friends have bought like acres and acres and acres, right? So that we ain't got to live right next to each other, on top of each other. Got to get in a little doom buggy to get to Sharonda's house. But, you know, you guys can go in and invest together. Build your legacies together. Right? So that you've got people to help hold you accountable. You hold them accountable and hold yourself accountable. Right? It's easier when somebody else, when you have to go in and say, I didn't save my money this week, Sharonda. I didn't. Sometimes you need that push from somebody else to say, well, then it's $20. It's $20 into that pot every time you don't do your thing, or it's $50 into that pot. There's something you going without this month because you didn't do what you said you were going to do. You can do those kind of things, but it starts here. If you fix here, everything else is going to flow, because you'll start to believe that you have a great relationship with money. You'll start to believe that you can be wealthy. You'll start to believe that you can make good money without have to work hard. Okay? Because you can make money while you sleep. That dollar could be making your money while you sleep.
And does.
So we have to do what we need to do to get to that point. You have to do the work. You have to sacrifice. You might sacrifice for 10 years so that the other 30, 40, 50, whatever is living lovely. I wish somebody had told me the things that we've shared with you guys today. When I was young.
But did, and I was too hard-headed until later on in life.
But we get it. Sometimes it takes a minute, right? But I want you to remember, your financial journey is yours to design. I want y'all to take this knowledge, take these good tips that we've been tossing out at you today, and use it to build a future that reflects the strength and the legacy that you deserve, that you desire, that you want to leave for your family. You can do these things. We believe in you. But remember, it starts here. Create the life you want. And then let us know. Hit us up on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Wake Up Happy Sis everywhere. Let us know what you loved about the episode, what tips you're going to add into your repertoire. Hell, tell us that you know what? I created my very first budget today. And I found where I was wasting $60 a month.
Yup.
That may not seem like a lot, but baby, that's a lot.
Especially when you see 3 of the same item, which means that you're going out and spending money on the same item multiple times.
Yeah.
When you didn't have to.
You didn't have to. It's over there. It's right there. And you done bought it 2 more times.
Mm-hmm. That was my soldiers. That's what he was doing. He's like, well, I got 2 pair of the same boots, 3 of the same shirt. Mm-hmm. Because you're spending haphazardly and your money is running away from you.
And one tool that I'm going to give you guys one software, and they are not sponsors in any way of this episode. Rocket Money. Mm-hmm. It's an app you can put your cards in to help track your spending. But it will also help find a lot of them hidden subscriptions that we done signed up for and paying for and don't even realize. That might save you a couple $100 a month. Subscriptions you don't use, ain't used. Right? That's one tip I'm going to leave y'all with, because we got to get up out of here. We already late. But that's one good tool. We've given you a lot of tips. I hope you guys were listening. Tune back in, because we're going to keep this hot train running, giving you the good, because we want you to live your best life unapologetically in all aspects. Because how else are you going to wake up happy? And that's our goal here. So with that, I want to thank you, because we're going to rise, we're going to build, and we are going to secure the bag together. With that, I say bye-bye, babies.
Vote, 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 vote.
Absolutely. Bye. Have a good one. See you next time.
Thank you for tuning in for another episode of Wake Up Happy Sis.